Coach's Corner is your source. Baseball, football, soccer, and hoops. The Coach's Corner has the scoop. It's the Coach's Corner with Andy.
Covering Tri-State sports, it's the Coach's Corner with Andy on 92.1 The Goat.
It's the Coach's Corner.
Hey, welcome to the Coach's Corner. I'm Andy. I have Nathan Butts here, the North Hagerstown High School football coach. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You guys are coming off a tough loss last week to Boonesboro, an overtime loss. Sorry about that, first of all, but it sounds like you guys played hard. Do you want to talk about the game a little bit?
Yeah, it was a hard-fought game. Both teams played well. Boonesboro is a tough football team. They always are. I'm really proud of our kids' effort and how they came back in the game, took the lead, and we just came up 2 points short. It's kind of unfortunate anybody had to lose that game, but hats off to Boonesboro. You know, they're well coached, their kids play hard, and it was a great football game to be a part of, even though we lost.
Yeah, it's always tough to lose a close one like that. Losing in general for kids isn't usually easy, but your players have to be somewhat motivated by playing such a well game, even though they lost. How are you planning to rebound and have your players keep that momentum going through the last game of the season, which is against rival South High, which we'll touch on a little bit later? Are you doing anything, implementing anything? I know you were focusing on discipline and details at the beginning of the season. Is that still your main focus of the team?
Well, the big, kind of the rallying cry we've been using here the last few weeks, we started out 0-4. Then we beat Smithsburg and we beat Williamsport, which we had did those things last year. So after the Williamsport game, I was really challenging my guys to be different. You know, let's not do the same old, same old. Let's be different. Let's have a different mindset. And they've really rallied around that. Now, while we came up short last week, we're still a different ball club. Like, we've had, I don't know how many close games this year. Really, Spring Mills game is the only one we got blown out on. But, I mean, we honestly could be sitting at 7-1 right now, too, if things went our way. But it's about being different and taking that approach each week. The same thing's going to, for this week. South's had our number for many years, and we got to try to be different and work hard and get that into our favor this week.
Yeah, definitely. That I mean, sounds like a great plan to me. I know, South, like you said, the North-South rivalry is a big one in the local area in Washington County. That game I feel like the kids probably go into it a little more hyped up, a little more on edge and excited about it. Can you talk a little bit about that? Being your first year as a head coach, how do you feel going into that game on Saturday?
Well, this game means a lot to me. Growing up, like my parents used to take me out to the North-South games. My dad went to South, my mom went to North, so it was always kind of in our household, the whole rivalry. And I remember being a little kid sitting at the Pizza Hut across the street and kind of seeing the players warm up. So it's always been held a special place in my heart. Yes, you're correct about the kids being amped up and ready to go, and that's on both sides. So you kind of gotta. It's not just another game, but in a sense, like, we gotta treat it as such and worry about us and control us. That's the only thing we can control is what we do. So that's the plan this week, and again, try to be a little different than what we've been in the past, and hopefully change the outcome.
Is the game at South High or is it at North High on Saturday?
It's at School Stadium at South High, 12 o'clock.
Okay. I wouldn't say that's a disadvantage, though. Both schools are in Hagerstown, and I know a lot of people from both sides show up no matter where the game's at because they just want to watch a good football game, which it always is, whether it's football, basketball, whatever the sport may be. That North-South rivalry kind of defines Washington County, I feel like. Do you want to highlight some of your players that have gone through the season so far and how your seniors are doing and any underclassmen?
Yeah, we've actually, the last few weeks, it's kind of crazy. Like, each game, I feel like it's been someone new, which is a good thing for us because it makes us tough to defend. But some of our senior players that have really stepped up, along the offensive line, we've had Xavier Ferguson and Joe Holt man up the right side. Really, all of our linemen. I mean, we're starting 2 sophomores up front, and they've just done a great job, along with our left tackle, Gary Fisher. But running back-wise, Jermaine Abonge, Amari Murray, they're 2 seniors that have really stepped up, along with Javon Frith. our quarterback Logan Hoffman and senior wide receiver Khalil Pegas. Khalil's come up with some huge third down catches. He had a good week, good game last week with the 2 touchdown catches. He's very tough to defend one-on-one. Defensively wise, like we're pretty young on the defensive side of the ball. We are very junior heavy, which is a good thing. Damian Thomas and Bryant Novisi, our outside backers, have really made it hard for teams to move the ball and us on the outside. And like I said, I could name half our roster. It's really truly been a team effort. I know that sounds like coach talk or cliche, but it's the truth. Like everybody stepped up and had a hand in our success the last few weeks.
You took over from head coach Greg Staines last year, and you were spent 7 seasons under Staines as the offensive coordinator for North High. Obviously, the head coaching job's different than the offensive coordinator. What's the biggest difference that you've seen so far this season that you've experienced, and what do you enjoy most about each position?
I would say offense. When you're just the coordinator, your focus isn't. I wouldn't say I'm not worried about the team, but I don't have to. You really don't manage the game as a whole. It's just basically let's try to score points, as many points as we can. And this week, I think it was about after week 2, the Manchester Valley game, I kind of switched my whole philosophy offensively wise. And went more to a wing T base to get all of our athletes involved. And really it's helped the defense as well because we're controlling the clock. I mean, last week we opened up the second half with a 6-minute drive. And, Boonesborough is tough to stop. So if you can keep their offense on the sideline, that definitely helps. So it's more of blending the O and the D together along with our special teams and managing all that within the game. That's been the biggest difference. But that's also fun, too. And just, really sculpting the team and program about my beliefs and my vision, like that's been the most fun part. And really all the coaches we're all in line with the same type of vision and beliefs. And we talked about discipline and details. That's been a big part of that. And we had some growing pains earlier with it, but the kids have been all in. And then I think they're starting to see if what we're trying to teach them and it's working. And that again, it's all about them. Like I was fortunate enough to experience some success as a player at Greencastle. And I said right away, I want these guys to experience that. That's my number one goal. I want the school, the community. I want everybody to see what a good football program, because I truly believe it brings everybody together, and we're starting to get that here.
I was going to ask you if you played football growing up. You said you played for Greencastle Antrim.
That's correct.
That's awesome. What years did you play?
95 to 99. I mean, I played junior league from 8 years old till I graduated, but I graduated in 99. I was part of the first playoff team in Greencastle history. So again, like I've kind of lived that as a player, and those special moments, I want my players to experience that kind of stuff and that success. And I've been fortunate. I want to pass that on to these guys.
So how did you fall into the offensive coordinator position when you started there on the North High football team? Did you coach any beforehand?
Yes, this is my 24th year as a high school coach. I actually started at North Hagerstown when Coach Cunningham took the program over. I was a receiver, DB coach, and then my 3rd year in, he made me the JV head coach. For there, I went on to Clear Spring. I got my first varsity coordinator job. And, before North High, I was at St. James. My heart's always been at North High. I mean, I had a great time at St. James, coaching those guys like John Mechie and Tyler Raymond. We had some good offenses out there. Coach Rote was actually our line coach at Greencastle when I played there, so I learned a ton from him. But my heart was always at North, and when an opportunity came open to come back, I jumped on it, and couldn't be happier that I'm back.
So growing up playing football at Greencastle Antrim, I'm assuming your hometown is in Pennsylvania?
No, I'm originally from Hagerstown. I did live in Greencastle.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but yeah, I'm back in Hagerstown now.
I was going to ask you if you grew up in Pennsylvania, if you were an Eagles or a Steelers fan, but who do you like NFL-wise?
I'll say Washington. That is my team. I guess we'll call them the Commanders. I'm still a little torn over that, but obviously I'm coming off a little bit of a high from yesterday. I went from being very upset to
Yeah.
to about losing my voice screaming. That was a great game. So yeah, so I mean, football has been pretty good to me this fall so far. I'm a Maryland fan too, so they've been up and down. So but yeah, it was a big win by
Yeah.
Washington yesterday.
Yeah, I'm a Commanders fan as well, and I was doing the same thing. Kind of had the game on, to start with, and it wasn't a very, very high scoring game. So it's kind of there, and you're watching it, but you're also doing other things too. And was getting the kids ready for bed, and I was like, I'll catch it at the end. I'll go back and watch it. And then I started hearing my wife started talking to me, and she's like, "You might want to come watch this. They're about to lose." And I was like, I don't want to watch that. But I went out, and was watching, see what they did. And then that last play of that Hail Mary, my sister and her husband and their kids were actually at the game in that end zone.
Nice.
And they had it, they were recording it. Yeah. Yeah. What a moment. And the Commanders being 6-2 definitely wasn't on my 2024 bingo card. That's for sure.
Quarterback makes a difference for sure, and a head coach and a new front office. Like it's exciting again. Like as a kid growing up and watching Joe Gibbs, like we were kind of spoiled, They were always successful, but this has been awesome to watch them this year.
Yeah, it's very cool. And as for Maryland, I don't follow college football too much, but if I had to pick a team, I would probably pick Maryland, just being the homer team. They lost a tough one this past weekend, didn't they, to Minnesota, I think.
Yeah, they lost to Minnesota. I actually made an all-time father blunder because me and my son went to the USC game. It was about 2 minutes left, and they got stopped. I was like, let's go. It's speed traffic. And we completely missed the blocked field goal. We heard it outside the stadium, so I kind of felt bad. But we were both hungry and ready to go home. So, but yeah, lesson learned.
I've done that before too. It actually almost happened to me back when, I can't remember what year it was, but it was the Dallas, it was Redskins then. It was the Dallas Redskins game, and Vanderjack was lined up for the field goal, and it was when Sean Taylor blocked the field goal.
Yep.
And he ran it back, and the Redskins made the playoffs, and I think they won the division that year. We almost left. We almost left the game, but we decided to stay, and stick it out because we figured everybody else is going to be leaving. Why not? We might as well just hang out. And man, I'm glad I stayed. That's one of those. I feel like last night was like one of those moments.
Correct.
Even though it was just the Bears, it was a big game, and it was a big game for Daniels. Going up against Caleb Williams, and I was impressed with the defense and how they handled Caleb Williams. He's been throwing the ball well this year, but the Commanders' defense really stepped up last night. I hope they keep stepping up. That'd be great.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out today, Nathan. If you want to go check out the next football game for the North Hagerstown High School Hubs, you can check it out on Saturday, November 2nd. They're going to take on their rival, South Hagerstown High School. It's sure to be a good game. It is taking place at South Hagerstown High School. The game starts at 12. Is that correct?
Yes, 12 o'clock.
All right. Come on out, catch a good football game, hang out for the weekend, and hopefully see the Hubs get a victory.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for hanging out, Nathan.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.